Social Security, and the major recession. What you need to know during this transition, and what does a recession mean for Social Security benefit checks as well as Social Security as a whole? That's a really good question, and exactly what I'm going to focus on for you here in this video, as I think we can all completely recognize this year has been very odd. We are in a very precarious economic situation right now. We've seen multiple different changes coming out of Social Security so far this year. We have all kinds of actions out of DOGE poking around within Social Security. It's been nuts, and honestly, we're still getting started. There's a lot of this year to go, and realistically, if you think it's been chaotic so far, just get ready. We've got a whole lot more ahead of us, and I want to break all that down for you here in this video as far as this major recession that is likely coming here within the next couple months. Be prepared, by the way. I'll talk about the details of that, and again, I've seen some people reaching out down below in the comment section. I've seen this in the headlines a number of times, but I really want to focus on what does a recession mean for Social Security beneficiaries as a whole. Again, this is a major topic, and again, I know the vast majority of you here in the community that watch these videos rely on your monthly benefit check for the vast majority of or all of your monthly income. Well, what does that mean? Recession's a very scary word, right? Well, it can be, depends on how you look at it. Either way, we've got a lot to talk about here in this video. Okay, so number one, we're still very early on in the year as I film this video right now, okay? We're only a handful of months into the year, and we still have a lot of 2025 to go. My point is, sometime in mid to maybe late May or maybe even early June, that's likely when we're going to see a lot of this economic data that is happening right now as far as what's going on with the overall economy. A lot of that is going to be hitting in May and June, and that's when we're likely going to see the confirmation of this massive recession that we have knocking on our door right now. Now, I've been talking about this for several months now, but here's the thing. It takes a long time to get the official confirmation of a recession, okay? Generally several months until we actually get that. Well, based on the economic data that we're seeing now, we're likely going to get that confirmation probably in mid to late May, maybe even sometime in June, mid-June, late June, something like that. So basically like mid-May through like late June-ish, through like that month and a half period of time, that's likely we're going to see all of this come in together and hitting, and it's going to be official at that point. And we're really going to start to see things hit the fan in a massive way, okay? Now, by the way, I just want to make it very clear, I'm not here to scare anybody, but rather I'm here to give you information to continue to keep you updated what's going on, advocate, represent for you, and again, just keep you informed of what's happening here. I think it's pretty chaotic. I mean, just look at anything out there right now. The headlines are making it very clear. The media is just like eating this up right now. It's a pretty nuts situation out there, okay? But anyway, considering all of this that we're seeing right now, let me just answer the question really fast here because I know a lot of you want to know the answer to this, which is a recession going to impact our benefit checks? The answer is no. Right now, any type of recession, any type of economic contraction, whatever you wanted to call it, will not have any impact whatsoever on your monthly benefits, okay? Since Social Security started sending out benefit checks, like, what is that, 90, 85 plus years ago, when Social Security started sending out their very first benefit checks, we've been through multiple recessions since then. They've never impacted benefit checks. Now, does a recession impact Social Security? The answer is yes, it actually does. A recession does impact Social Security, the program, but it does not impact benefit checks. How? Let me explain it really fast here. During an economic contraction or during a recession, we see a very large spike in unemployment. What does that mean? It means a lot of people are not working. Obviously, you know that. When people are not working, that simply means less money being collected through Social Security payroll taxes, otherwise known as FICA taxes, that are not being collected because if somebody's not working, there's no income to be taxed, and if income is not being taxed, it's less money going into the Social Security Trust Fund. So the big question would be is, number one, how many people are going to become unemployed as a result of this recession? How big and bad is this recession going to be? And then again, how long is it going to last? These are some of the factors we need to think about, which as of right now, obviously, we don't know any of those details. We're likely going to see a pretty significant spike in unemployment, a lot of people losing their jobs. And again, for Social Security, the program as a whole, that means a lot of money that would be taxed and going into the trust fund to pay out to beneficiaries will no longer be going in. Now, the big question would be is how long will this last? A short-lived recession is not that bad. It doesn't really matter that much overall. But the problem is if we see a very long, a drawn-out, prolonged recession, that's when we start to see some problems coming in, because it's a lot of tax revenue that's not going into the trust fund, and that could potentially bring that insolvency date quite a bit sooner to present time. As of right now, they're looking anywhere between like 2031 and 2035. Depends on the report that you look at. It's somewhere between that time frame. So we're honestly anywhere between like 7 and 10 years out from right now as far as when we could be seeing potential insolvency in the trust fund, okay? So that's something we need to think about. Now, let's talk about some other things here. We've seen multiple different changes out of the Social Security Administration so far this year. I've been bringing those to your attention in these different press releases that have been coming out, a lot of things that have been changing recently. We've got a lot of major changes coming out of Social Security. Again, obviously, we have DOGE poking around within Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, entitlement programs, as they like to call it, as well as all these other different federal agencies, many different things there. Just a lot of major changes that are happening, okay? But when it comes down to it, the big question, and again, I said the answer to this just a minute ago, but let me focus on this again for just a second here. As a Social Security beneficiary, again, fill in the blank with whatever type of benefit. It does not matter the benefit type. It could be retirement, SSDI, survivor, spousal, SSI, VA, RRB, any of these benefits here. They would not be impacted directly whatsoever from a recession, okay? So that's kind of the cool thing about it. They're kind of, I'm going to say it, recession-proof, which is not like 100% accurate, but it's like pretty accurate, okay? My point is, benefit checks are not going to be cut. They're not going to be canceled. They're not going to be ended. They're not going to be reduced. They're not going to be taken away in the event of a recession. Now, the program could be impacted for the reasons that I stated a couple minutes ago, which is less tax revenue going into the Social Security Trust Fund, which would ultimately be less money going out to beneficiaries at some point in the future if the trust fund becomes insolvent sooner, things like that, right? So that's something we certainly need to focus on very closely. But either way, considering where we are right now, I mean, a recession is practically like baked in at this point, okay? Obviously, nothing is guaranteed, but based on what we're currently seeing right now, we're pretty much certain to get a recession here, probably confirmed in the next handful of months. Not that far out, maybe two or so months from now, 2-3 months maybe from now, we're likely going to see that confirmation, right? We've seen some remarks out of the Federal Reserve recently where they've basically made it very clear to us, hey, we're in a super interesting time. We're in a very uncertain time. We're in a very precarious time right now is essentially what the Federal Reserve is conveying to us. And they're basically saying, yeah, let's just prepare. Let's continue to watch all this data that's coming out. That's basically just their way of stalling and basically saying, hey, we don't want to admit it yet, but we're about to get whacked upside the head here with a big old recession. Of course, they don't want to say that because they can't really say that, because if they did, the economy and the markets and everything would get would be very volatile. It'd be a very bad situation. But anyway, going forward here, let's just prepare. Please, just think of this. Let's just continue to prepare, whatever that means for you and your situation. And again, no, your benefits will not be cut. They're not going to be ended. They're not going to be canceled. But it is something we need to continue watching. Now, here's the cool part about a recession, if there is such a cool thing. Here's the nice thing that would come out of a recession. Number one, the Federal Reserve, I'm just going to say this much. My prediction is going to be sometime between basically now and July. Okay, I could be totally wrong on this. Be sometime between now and July, the Federal Reserve comes in with an emergency announcement, whether that's during an FOMC meeting or just some one-off day here or there. They come in with an emergency announcement sometime between now and July. Again, I could be off on that a little bit or totally wrong. Who knows? But I would anticipate they coming with an emergency announcement and they cut interest rates 50, 75, or possibly even 100 basis points to possibly get ahead of a major recession that's about to hit, okay? It's like the big tidal wave coming into shore. Uh-oh, quick, get out of the way. That's essentially what the Federal Reserve would be doing with an emergency meeting is, uh-oh, quick, get out of the way. Here's your warning. Quick interest rate cut, 50, 75 basis points outside of a regular FOMC meeting. Now, they could do it during an FOMC meeting, which would be totally fine as well, but I would not be shocked if they do this just a one-off, quick call a meeting here, and let's just cut interest rates quickly. Now, they would do that in front of a recession. If they see it coming, they see that tidal wave coming, and they know it's coming, Once they do that, though, think of it this way. They're basically showing their hand. Think of them playing a card game, and they've got their hand revealed. Well, I mean, hidden at this point. I mean, we all know what the cards are at this point when it comes to the Fed, which is we know that they're not being completely transparent with what they're seeing out there. We know this. It's not a shock. We know that the economic data that we're looking at is not nearly as good as what they're making it sound like. We know that we've got this coming. But when they come out and make this emergency announcement, we're likely just think of it this way. The metaphor would be they've shown us their hand in a card game, and they're basically like, here's our cards. Here's what we got. We're showing you our hand. And they're basically capitulating at that point, okay? When they do that, get ready. There's going to be massive volatility in the markets, and that'll basically be the confirmation we're going into recession. And when the Federal Reserve does that, just get ready. We're probably going to see a huge amount of volatility. We're going to see that confirmation of the recession, and that is when this Fed will come in and stimulate like crazy through the form of money printing. We're likely going to see a massive package out of lawmakers, trillions of dollars, possibly hundreds of billions, whatever it happens to be, which will be stimulus. And then we're likely going to see the massive cutting of interest rates, and at that point, it's going to be the kind of the pivot bottom in the overall markets and in the economy, things like this. And that's what will be after the races again, okay? But obviously it's going to take some time for that to happen. All of that takes time, but this is kind of what we're looking at as of right now, okay? So I know it's kind of a lot to think about. I know it's a lot right here for this video, but my point is, we're likely going to see this, and we're probably going to see all kinds of headlines out there suggesting, oh, look out, major recession is going to impact benefits and things like that. No, it shouldn't impact benefits. Yes, it will impact Social Security, but no, it's not going to impact our monthly benefits right now. But it'll be obviously a lot less tax revenues coming in with all the people that become laid off as a result of a recession. And again, this is like all but guaranteed, okay? Obviously, there's no guarantees on anything, but my point is, like, based on what we're currently seeing right now, this is like a very, 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 very high likelihood event that's coming here probably within the next 3-ish or so months, right? It's not that many months out. So anyway, this is what we're looking at as of right now. Obviously, things could change rapidly between now and then. My point is, just stay tuned here, okay? I know you're probably going to see this out there in the headlines anywhere. I'm here for you in any way I possibly can be. As always, please subscribe if you have not done so. Otherwise, if you have any questions, if you need help on Medicare, call the guys over there at Chapter. Again, my partners here on the channel, they will help you 100% for free with anything in regards to Medicare, Medicare supplements, Medigap plans, Medicare initial enrollment, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part D, whatever it happens to be. They will help you find the best plan at the best price with the best coverages for your personal needs and your personal preferences, 100% for free, and they're saving the average person $1,100, which is absolutely incredible. That is real money. Anyway, feel free to give them a call. Phone number's there on your screen. They're waiting to talk to you, and they will help you 100% for free. Anyway, please, again, share the video if you'd like to. There's a share button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here or if you've not done so yet. I'll be here for you right by your side every single day. It's my promise. It's my dedication, and I'm sticking to it. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you for being here. Otherwise, check out the other thousands of videos here on the channel in the video library. The popular videos down below in the description or at the top of the comment section. Right now, popping up on your screen. You'll see some videos there. Thanks again. Please, just have a nice day. Don't worry. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Let me know what I can do for you. Otherwise, enjoy your day, and I really hope I can see you again soon.